Okay, we are live. Welcome to this meeting of the Licensing Sub Committee. My name is Henry Yellop from Democratic Services. The subcommittee today is made up of Councillors Archer, Thompson and Waring. The first item of business is the appointment of a chair for the meeting. May I ask subcommittee members to nominate a chair, please?
I nominate Councillor Ollie Waring.
Is that agreed?
Agreed. Yeah.
Agreed.
Thank you. Councillor Waring is in the chair.
Thank you, Henry. Good morning, everyone. Finally, this meeting is being broadcast live on the Council's YouTube channel, and the recording will be available shortly after the meeting. The agenda is available to view on the Council's YouTube channel, on the Council's official website, kingston.gov.uk. If you scroll down to the bottom and follow the link, Your Council, Democracy and Elections, and then click on Decision Making and Committees. The quorum for this meeting is 3 members, and all will need to be present at all times during the meeting to ensure we're able to make a decision on the licensing application. In the event that any subcommittee members or the legal advisor lose connection during the hearing, we'll pause to allow them to rejoin as soon as possible. To help reduce feedback, as Henry asked, could we all just mute our microphones when we're not speaking, please? After the subcommittee has heard each submission, I'll ask if members have any questions. Members can also indicate that they wish to speak by using the appropriate key or by request in the meeting chat function. Please don't use the chat function to ask questions of officers or other councillors, and remember that all meeting participants on the video call will be able to see what has been entered in the chat. Please also ensure that mobile phones are switched off or in silent for the duration of the meeting. Thank you. And now to the participants in the meeting, introducing you all. Good morning to Councillor Steph Archer. Steph, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Our third member of the subcommittee is Councillor Margaret Thompson. Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning, everyone.
And my name is Ollie Waring. On the legal side, our legal advisor is Guy Bishop. Guy, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
And we also have Marcella Basso, who is our licensing officer. Marcella, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
And we also have the applicant with us this morning, Mr. Adam Sutton. Good morning, Mr. Sutton.
Sorry. Good morning, everyone.
Morning. Moving to item 2 on the agenda, which are declarations of interest. Does any member of the subcommittee have a personal or pecuniary interest to declare?
No,
Councillor
none.
Thompson?
None, no.
No,
Councillor Archer?
none.
Okay, thank you. I feel I ought to sort of flag my sort of personal interest, which is that I am a drinks journalist by profession, and I report on the global beer, wine, spirits and soft drinks industry. I think that's more of a relevance, that it's a useful knowledge rather than a personal interest. Next item on the agenda is the minutes of the meeting, which was held on the 21st of September 2020. They've been published. Are those minutes approved as a correct record? Councillor Thompson?
Yes, happy.
Well, worth the wait. And
Really just...
Yes, I agree.
And thank you. Okay, I'll sign those at a convenient time. To the procedure of this morning's meeting, parties have already been notified of the usual procedures for licensing hearings as set out on pages 3 to 6 of the agenda. Paragraph 55 on page 4 deals with notification of the decision following the subcommittee's deliberations. This will firstly be confirmed by email, and full details and reasons will follow within 5 working days. I'm presuming there are no objections to proceeding on the basis of those procedures. If you do have objections, please speak now. Marvellous. So today's meeting is to consider a licensing application from Anomaly Brewing, located at 59 Glebe Gardens in New Malden, KT35RU. I now hand the floor to Marcella Basso, the licensing officer, to introduce the report on the application. Marcella, thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. This application relating to Anomaly Brewing, 59 Glebe Gardens, New Malden, KT35RU, was made on the 11th of August 2020 by Anomaly Brewing Limited. The application seeks a new premises license to permit the sale by retail of alcohol for consumption off the premises only from 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. The sale of alcohol is to fulfill online orders only. There will be no public access to the premises. Relevant pages of the application form are attached at Annex 1, and the proposed hours of operation are laid out in Annex 2 of the licensing report. I confirm that the applicant has advertised the application by way of public notice displayed at the premises and in a local newspaper. The application has also been made available on the Council's website. I confirm that all responsible authorities received a copy of the application. The Metropolitan Police, as responsible authority for the prevention of crime and disorder licensing objective, and Trading Standards, as responsible authority for the protection of children from harm licensing objective, raised concerns about the application. Following further consultation, the applicant has addressed the concerns by making amendments to their operating schedule, and these amendments are reflected in the conditions shown in Annex 3 of the report. In light of these amendments, the representations made by the Metropolitan Police and Trading Standards have been satisfied. In accordance with the Council's licensing policy, 109 residents were consulted in writing and informed that an application had been received. One valid representation was received from other persons. The representation makes reference to matters that relate to all 4 licensing objectives, and a copy of the representation is attached at Annex 4. In considering this report, the subcommittee is required to take into account the Secretary of State's guidance issued under Section 182 of the Licensing Act 2003, our licensing policy, and the licensing objectives. You are asked to determine the application having regard to the representation received and any evidence heard at the hearing, in line with the options set out in paragraph 10 of the licensing report. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcella. To the committee, do you have any questions for Marcella? Councillor Archer.
No, I don't. Thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor Thompson, any questions?
No, thank you, Marcella.
Great. Thank you. I do not have any questions at this point either. As referred to in the report, the representations made by responsible authorities, the Trading Standards Officer and the Metropolitan Police, have now been satisfied by the applicant, and there are no further representations to consider from responsible authorities. We now come to the representations from... Sorry, Chair,
you skipped over the applicant.
Yes, I have. Oh, okay. Right. All right then. Thank you very much for that. So handing the floor over to the applicant, Mr. Adam Sutton, to give a summary of the application, and then I shall repeat myself. So, Mr. Sutton, thank you.
Thanks, guys. So I thought I'd just give you a really quick rundown. It's only a couple of minutes long, as to why I want need the application and things like that. So I'll just put, started Anomaly Brewing in 2017, and since that time I developed 4 different products, supplied to 14 businesses across Surrey, and won a silver medal for Best Porter at the International Beer Challenge Awards in 2019. The reason I am applying for a premises license is to sell my products online. The next step for Anomaly Brewing would be to sell online. We have received an amazing response to the local area, and now it's time to branch out across the UK. This, coupled with COVID-19, means that selling online has never been more important and crucial to the growth of my company. In regards to the licensing being disputed, I went through all points made, and though I completely understand concerns made, I know that my business would not affect any of the issues that were raised. Let's see. I can go through each issue if that's necessary, or don't know.
That's your prerogative, Mr. Sutton. It's your call.
Probably helps.
Okay, that's fine. Yep, sure. So these were the issues raised by Mrs. Norman. So the first one is the prevention of crime and disorder. I take this extremely seriously as I myself have a family in this home. I have worked closely with Kingston Police in order to make a safe and secure environment that will deter any possible wrongdoing. I have achieved this by installing 24-hour CCTV and CCTV signage. I have also secured the property with additional locks and security. The property is never accessed by the general public nor openly advertised. Number 2, additional traffic. I have around 2 to 3 deliveries per week. Apart from that, I'm the only person permitted to delivering beer, which I have been doing to shops, bars and pubs for nearly 3 years. If I am granted my license, I've found a delivery service that will come only once a day if orders are high enough to collect orders. As a result, I feel that there isn't and will not be an increase in traffic. I'm fully aware of how congested this road can get, and the last thing I would want to do is to make the situation worse. Number 3, noise and smell. As previously mentioned, I have been operating for nearly 3 years and I've never received a complaint from any neighbours, including my direct next door neighbours, with either of these issues. In regards to the last issue, which is making underage people aware of the possibility of making alcohol at home, I understand this concern and respect everything said. Of course, it is possible for someone who is underage to maybe look at what I'm doing and think, I'll do that too. But I can assure you that it's an incredibly long process that is not simple and takes up a lot of space, meaning that any responsible adult that is caring for them would certainly know if they were partaking in these activities. I hope I've put all these issues at rest. My sole purpose for this business is to expand into something that I can make a stable living from and create a brand that will attribute New Malden and Kingston. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sutton. Now returning to the committee to see if they have any follow-up questions. Councillor Archer, Steph, do you have any questions for Mr. Sutton?
Yes, please. Yeah, thank you so much for coming today. It's really interesting to hear about your business. Just wondering, kind of, you know, going forwards, do you envisage yourself eventually sort of getting an industrial unit, moving it to bigger premises, or do you feel like this is kind of where the business is going to stay for the foreseeable? It's kind of, you've got enough space there in your garage. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, my goal is to eventually get into an industrial unit. I have to get enough, once I have enough money to do that, and I've got enough demand, that will definitely be that's my top goal. Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
That's okay.
That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Archer. Over to Councillor Thompson. Do you have any questions for Mr. Sutton?
I do, just a couple, Mr. Sutton. You say there'll only be, and I just want to clarify the delivery situation. So at the moment you have people bringing stuff into you. Is that bottles, the raw materials you need, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so it's probably more like, once or twice a week I would have deliveries of grain, but they're not, at this stage, it's the same size delivery as you'd get, say, if you delivered a large thing off of Amazon or something like that. Once a month I would get, when it gets busier, a pallet of bottles that goes to the side of my house. But yeah, that's it. It's nothing huge yet. It's just small delivery.
And you'd expect once a day, if you get this license, you'd expect that once a day you would be taking the bottles out to your, however you deliver them.
Yeah, so if it was through the online sales, it's the Royal Mail. Royal Mail is one of the only companies that are actually permitted to sell alcohol.
I did wonder about that, yeah.
And so that's because they check people's ID and when they receive the product. So their thing is they come early in the morning, probably between 9 and 11, and you'd give them all the orders that have been done for that day. And then if I was delivering to any restaurants, bars or pubs in the local area, I would do that once a day. I would just go out to my van with the boxes, and yeah, that would be it.
Yeah, so it's not. Yeah, I just wanted to sort of clarify that. That's
No
really good.
problem.
And about the so the whole process takes place in your garage. Does that include the bottling? I know you've got a bottling table. I've seen that on your very clear plan.
Yeah.
That includes the bottling and the labelling and so on. Does that all occur? And,
Yeah.
and presumably the administration is done in your house.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's quite a tight fit at the moment, but it's fine. Yeah, no, everything's done in the quite a large garage, thankfully. Everything's done in the garage, and then all administration, everything like that, is just done on my laptop. Yeah.
Yeah, indoors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably all I've got to ask. I just wanted to check about the bottling, the labelling, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Ms Sutton, I've got a couple of questions for you. The deliveries that are made to your, I'm going to call it a brewery, good luck. The deliveries made to the brewery, what size vehicles are we talking here?
Just a normal delivery van, like a DPS kind of, sorry, you know, like a, DHL kind of a normal van.
So we're not talking sort of a Luton van or anything like
that? No. They're just, you know, they do it en route to doing all the other deliveries in the area, because it's only, so basically the biggest kind of deliveries I get are 25 kilogram sacks of grain. So they're just like, if you imagine a really big sack of dog food, that kind of size, it's just like a couple of those, yeah, maybe twice a week or something like that. But yeah, they come on the normal delivery route with all the other deliveries in the road.
So you're looking at around about 50 grams, 2 large bags delivered twice a week.
Around that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. And then, thank you. And then my next question is about the capacity, production capacity that you've got on in the brewery. What is that capacity? At
the moment, so the full capacity is about, it's still very small. Full capacity is about 280 litres per week. I'm not at that stage at the moment because everything's slowed down because of COVID. But that it's possibility that I could do 280 a week. But yeah, okay. I'm not yet at that level.
Okay. Have you been at that level?
No, not yet. No.
Okay. What's the maximum weekly capacity you've achieved so far?
I could tell you that the most I did in a month was 400 litres.
In a month?
Yeah, in a month, yeah. But that was with the previous system, so I'm looking to expand. But at the moment, it's that. Yeah.
Okay. And final question on this. Last week, what was your capacity?
145 litres.
Okay, so about half of your capabilities there.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Sutton. That's great.
No problem.
I have no further questions at this point. So I'll say it again. As referred to in the report, the representations made by responsible authorities, the Trading Standards Officer and the Metropolitan Police have now been satisfied by the applicant, and there are no further representations to consider from responsible authorities. So we now come to the representations from other persons. There was one of these as set out on page A24 of the report, but I understand we have no resident objectors that have asked to speak. Is that correct, Henry?
Yes, that is correct, Chair.
Thank you. Margaret, Councillor Thompson has asked, has requested to ask a question. Is it regarding the objection?
Well, it is, but I wanted to ask it before you introduced that thing. So I just wanted to ask Mr. Sutton, you say 145 litres. Do you sell it in 500ml bottles? I'm trying to find out how many bottles that actually equates to.
I sell them in 330 millilitre bottles, so they're like small can sort of size.
Right.
And I'm at the moment, it's
so
around,
100, yeah.
Yeah, it varies because you lose liquid on different processes of it, but it'd be about around 230 bottles at that stage. Yeah.
Per 150 litres is approximately. Okay, I'm just thinking about collection and delivery, how much it was. As in terms of pallets, it's sort of a.
It's not quite pallet level, so that's so that amounts to, because I sell them in boxes of 12.
Oh right, okay.
So yeah, so it's just shy of 20 boxes.
20 boxes, yeah.
But that's delivery would be, the person would be only ordering one box. But yeah, anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
That's okay. No problem.
Thank you.
I think Councillor Thompson's covered off questions in relation to the written objections there. Councillor Archer, do you have any questions for Mr. Sutton in relation to the written objections?
I don't actually. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Your answer to my question regarding the size of delivery vehicle is of relevant to the applicant, to the objector's concerns. So I shall leave that out there. Okay, that's great. So we come to the end of this particular meeting. Adam, Mr. Sutton, would you like to make any sort of closing remarks?
No, I think everything's been covered. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. But yeah, no, everything's fine.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that concludes a public hearing. The subcommittee members, the legal officer and the clerk will now withdraw to a private meeting area while the subcommittee makes its decision. That sounds very glamorous, it's not. That decision will be confirmed to all parties by email, and the full decision letter with reasons will then be sent to all parties within 5 working days. Can I ask that subcommittee members now go into the private meeting session without further comment? I confirm this meeting and the live stream will end now. Thank you very much all for your time this morning. Have a good morning, a good Tuesday and a good rest of the week. Thank you.
Thank you.